Hello guys, and welcome to our first Ask Me Anything session. I am Konstantin, I'm the CEO and the co-founder of the SeedOn project, and this is Tudor, he's the CEO and the co-founder. And for today we're going to address your questions that you have added on Twitter and our Facebook account. So let's start. Okay, so the first question is, what are some metrics that you build your assessment of an entrepreneur's eligibility, not a scammer? So we're going to first start with the background for us. A few years ago we have co-founded a software development company called HungryBytes, through which we offer consultancy services for companies in multiple European countries. What we do is either offer consultancy services for new softwares or for existing solutions that they want to evolve and just to add new features for them. We have started both a few years ago with a full-time job and doing freelancing in the spare time and in the weekends. And since the beginning of 2020, we have started going full-time with projects that we have with existing customers. Right now, if you want to see our portfolio, you can go on our company's website. We can also add a link in the description, so you can check this out.
The next question is, what makes you special from other projects? We think that entrepreneurs deserve a crowdfunding platform that has no fees. Through our platform, we will have no fees applied compared to our competitors, which usually have fees varying from 5 to 10%, and they also charge on each transaction.
The next question is, what do you value more, design or functionality? What part do you consider the most difficult in fulfilling your objective? And the last one, can you list 3 killer features of your project that make it ahead of competitors? Okay, so this is a 3-part question, so I will take this one by one. The first part, design or functionality. Of course that we want to offer our users a high variety of features so that they can choose from. But as many features as we might have, we cannot overlook the design, the user experience and the user interface of our application. Because let's say that we have a software with a lot of features and functionalities, but if those are hard to use, then this is going to drive users away. So it's not actually a design or functionality, but it is rather a design and functionality question. So we're actually aiming to tackle both. Right, so the second part of the question is, what are the challenges that we're going to be facing for our objectives? Well, actually implementation of the software is not going to be a challenge for us because we already have an established team of developers as part of HungryBytes, because we want to build the solution as part of our company. And this is not going to be a challenge for us. The challenging part is actually going to be to register as a broker-dealer with FINRA and SEC, so that we can allow the public of the United States to invest through our platform, so that they can have securities transactions for companies. This is actually a process that usually lasts at first 45 days, where you just submit the documentation for the registration. Usually in 45 days you get an answer back, but it can be yes or no. Then you're going to have to redo the documentation. So we cannot say for sure how long it's going to take, but it's just something that we're going to have to go through. Also, there's going to be an initial deposit for this of about $100,000 or $200,000 depending on our documentation submission. So this is going to be a challenge that we're going to have, but we're most definitely going to take it and just be able to conduct securities transactions through SeedOn. And the last part of the question is 3 killer features of our platform. Basically, the main features we're going to have is the smart contract escrow model. We're also going to have the structured communication channel, and we're going to have a screening process with compliance and consultancy checks. The first one, which is the escrow model, is actually going to be the main feature of our platform. This means that when an entrepreneur is going to submit a project for a startup, he's going to have a business plan. In the business plan, he's going to be required to split the project into stages, meaning that for the full project, he's going to have measurable objectives. So he's going to have a stage for 3 months, the next stage for 4 months, and the next one for 6 months, for example. He's going to have to split the capital for each stage. And the first stage is not going to be able to have allocated more than 20%, because we want to reduce fraud for this. So basically we're going to have those stages. He's going to get the capital infusion for the first stage at first. Then he's going to make the fulfillment of the objectives. Only after those objectives have been completed, a new capital infusion is going to be done for the second stage. So this is what we want to do with the escrow model, so that the entrepreneurs cannot have access to the whole amount of the investments, because we want to reduce fraud for this. For example, let's say that in the unlikely event an entrepreneur gets past our screening process and he wants to defraud investors, he's only going to be able to do this for 20%. And when this is going to flop and fail, then we're going to give back to the investors the rest of the amount of the investments. So this is a security that we want to offer for our investors through SeedOn. The other feature is a structured communication channel. This is something that is not actually addressed by other platforms that we see as our competitors. And basically there are post-raise areas where communication between entrepreneurs and investors can continue, but this is rarely happening. As part of the project submission, we want to enforce the entrepreneurs to actually schedule company meeting updates, which is going to be defined in each stage to some occurrence. It can be also monthly, quarterly, biannually, and so on, depending on the length of the stage. So this meeting is actually going to consist in entrepreneurs presenting to investors the progress of the startup, what objectives they met until that point, what is the plan for the next month or the next quarter, depending again on the length of the stage. This is going to be done through our feature on the platform, which is going to be a video conference room. The entrepreneur is going to be able to speak to the investors. We're not going to allow all investors to speak because let's say that a startup has 2,000 investors, it's going to be difficult for all of them to be speaking at the same time. This is why we're going to have before each session a Q&A section for the project where investors can ask questions, and we're going to have someone from our team which is going to take part in the call, is going to centralize those questions from investors and will address them to the entrepreneurs on behalf of the investors. Also, the consultant from our team is going to actually challenge the decisions and maybe the presentation from the entrepreneur when it's the case, just to put him just to explain and evolve the details that is provided. And the third killer feature of our platform is actually the screening process with compliance and consultancy checks. Basically, anyone wanting to submit a project on our platform is going to have to go through a screening process. So it's going to have to submit an ID and a passport. We're going to have a background check done on the entrepreneur. At first, we're going to have an AI module which is going to do some checks for the person. Then ultimately, a human is going to manually validate those results. After the screening process, then the entrepreneur is going to have to submit the business plan, the company statement, the mission of the solution, and what is the motivation of the startup, why is it different than other startups in the same market, so that we can have as many information as possible so that we can actually analyze the business plan and the project. After that, we're going to have close one-on-one calls with the entrepreneur just to get to know him, just to see what are their intentions, just to see why they want to raise capital for their startup. And when all this passes, we're going to actually list it on our platform. We do this because we just want to merge the benefits of VCs with crowdfunding. The benefits of VCs we just want to provide through SeedOn, so that we do what I already said, like the compliance and consultancy checks, just to be sure that this is all genuine and legit. But also we want to provide the opportunity to retail investors to support and back those startups.
The next question is, what's your marketing plan? How do you intend on reaching as many entrepreneurs and investors and stay engaged with the community? Asking because I've seen good projects stay anonymous because of virtually non-existing marketing. That's a really good question. So at the moment we're in discussions with a PR company that will provide us marketing opportunities. We will also be attending global events. We plan to conduct interviews to promote our business, and also we are planning a really strong online marketing campaign.
The next question is the following. SeedOn will be the native token of SeedOn. Does it play an important role in the development of this project? Yes. So SeedOn will actually have a significant role in our project. This is because it is going to be our main stream of revenue. Our platform is not going to apply any fees to entrepreneurs, nor for successful campaigns or transaction fees. And this is why we actually need to use this token just to be able to finance our solution throughout the years when we actually go live. This is why all the transactions are going to be done through SeedOn. We just want to make sure that we're going to have a stable volume of trading beside the exchanges and liquidity pools for it. And this is why we actually need it.
How can you ensure that holding is more beneficial for long term, and what is your plan to increase demand? Okay, that's a good question. We are planning to have all transactions through our platform in SeedOn. So basically what this means is that when a retail investor decides to found a company, he will do it through SeedOn. After that, we will be converting that SeedOn into fiat currency, and when we will have to fund the company through those 3 stages, we will be doing it by buying SeedOn and giving it to the startup company. This way, we ensure a high volume of trading by having multiple buy and sell orders. The next question is, do you have any audit record, and how safe is your smart contract from bugs? Okay, we actually already have been audited in October. You can see the results on our website. But basically the audit on our smart contracts code has been really successful, and there were no security issues found.
And now we are at the last question, which is following. What are your plans 5 years from now? Okay, this is a very good question. Being a startup, I think that we cannot actually have a strict plan 5 years from now. I think we can have an abstract idea of what we're going to do, but we cannot say for sure that this is actually going to be the result after 5 years. What I can tell you for sure is the plan for the next year. The first step is going to be the ICO. Then we're going to have the platform development. Then we're going to have the community test and also get feedback from our community so that we can add or remove features according to our community's input. And also we're going to start becoming a registered broker dealer with FINRA and SEC. This is our plan for the next year. Again, we're going to stay away from any details because this is actually the path of a startup. We're going to have to be flexible and just be able to pivot, because for example we might notice that we can actually have some other opportunities, so we're going to have to be flexible enough just to pivot the other direction so that we can become a successful company. Alright guys, then thank you for your attention. I hope that this was very helpful and that you got answers to your questions. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to write in the comment section below, and we're going to answer those in the next Ask Me Anything session, which is going to be actually live. Thank you guys.